So, as I mentioned, there is an event coming up, and it is a special event that is being hosted by Fort Campbell through your office in September. Can you kind of give us an overview of what that is, what it's going to look like?
Yes, I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a great event to be able to have someone that's just starting to consider the Army chaplaincy, or maybe just hearing it for the first time today. If you want to be able to kind of learn more about it, to see what it consists of, that's what this day is going to provide you. On the morning during PT, so we'll have physical training in the morning, and we're going to set it up to where you can see what some of the new Army Combat Fitness Test events will consist of. It's going to be obviously at your own pace. If there's some things that if you're just not able to do, no worries whatsoever. This is just orientation, and then it's going to lead into a breakfast time frame with the devotional, a question and answer time frame with some of our senior leader UMT members here at Fort Campbell, for you to hear more just specifics about our roles, what we provide on a regular basis here at Fort Campbell, and different questions you might have for us. Family members are invited to as well. We think that's so important for every youth ministry team member that I've seen, that their family was all in for the ministry and for the opportunity to be able to serve, at least substantially. And I think even that supports, especially if it is a deployment or training environment, training exercise you're going through, it's so critical. So definitely the family, we feel like it's very important for the families to be able to develop understanding too as well. This is what the Army context is like. Be able to meet some of our spouses too as well. And then they'll have a chance to be able to interact with some of our junior chaplains or captains and maybe even first lieutenants, be able to hear specifically what they're involved in on a day-to-day basis, and just be able to hear, this is what your position is going to be like as soon as you step foot into your organization on active duty. And then here at the Sabaluski Air Assault School, it's right behind me. We'll conclude that day with a chance for everyone that's attending to be able to rappel off that wall right there. We've already coordinated that with the school. So even if you're afraid of heights, we'll help you out. We'll get you through it. I even had a chaplain assistant one time that was afraid of heights, and he was airborne qualified, did every jump with me. I don't know how he did it. I don't know if he just closed his eyes in that part with, it was funny when I first found that out, and we'd already done a few jumps together. I did not know he was that afraid of heights. But seeing this here too as well, and be able to kind of experience a little bit here at the Air Assault School. Maybe by chance they might be doing a air assault, a fast rope rappel or rappel out of Chinook, possibly. It's just kind of timing wise. They might be able to see that too as well. And but from start to finish, it's going to provide a great understanding and definitely a solid perspective of what you could expect if you were to feel led by the Lord to pursue this as a career.
And so, what date is that going to happen?
It's on the 2nd of September, so just before Labor Day weekend. We're going to try visiting a few more schools as soon as the schools start back up, nearby colleges and seminaries, to help promote it a little bit more. And but I think it's perfect for anyone's currently attending college and feeling the call to ministry and possibly considering the Army chaplaincy for a career. But yes, the whole day on the 2nd of September.
So a question that I've had come up a couple times is our chaplain candidates that are already in, they've already been assessed as second lieutenants and are going through that candidate program. Are they able to come?
Yes, I definitely encourage, and they are just as welcome to attend, without a doubt. I think it's a great experience. There's just so much learning, and the more that you can gain during that stage before you hit the ground as the chaplain for that assigned organization, because people understand there's always some learning and growing along the way as soon as you hit the ground, but to a certain degree they expect you to be ready and be able to perform all of the responsibilities and different to meet the expectation for that position. So the more you're able to digest and take in during this time frame as a chaplain candidate, it's going to be very helpful for you, and you'll definitely be able to benefit and learn a lot during that time frame too as well.
So I know that we do end up getting a lot of questions from spouses. I know that my wife has talked to quite a few prospective Army chaplain spouses. Sometimes they have questions that we don't think about. So you mentioned that the spouses are invited. Could you give a little bit more on what's kind of lined up for them?
We'll have for the spouses, some of our senior chaplain spouses that are here, and I think at least 2 religious affairs spouses too as well. We even have one that's currently serving as in a command sergeant major position, and I'm pretty sure she's already committed to being there too as well, to be able to speak to spouses, to be able to provide her perspective over really 20 some years of being involved in this capacity. It'll be obviously a question and answer time frame for them, and then even chance to be able for small groups. This way, maybe some questions that they want a little more privacy to be able to seek answers and advice on. They'll have the opportunity to as well to be able to hear on a one-on-one conversation type format, to be able to have some of those questions addressed, and just to be able to develop some maybe more comfortable position towards what it consists of. And I think some of the most common concerns is, well, what about our kids? With kids having to adjust. Trish and I both, we grew up in the same hometown for pretty much, all through high school. We were different hometowns. She was in Pennsylvania, I was in Northern Virginia, but that's what we were familiar with. I know we were kind of concerned about that too initially, but we have shared this with many, many families. Your kids, they will, for what we've seen, they grow to enjoy it and appreciate it so much. They love the variety. There are some challenges with sports if they're heavily involved in sports during high school. We feel the transition a little bit more if they're transitioning during high school time frame. If you were the number 1 seed on the team, you move, not going to automatically be the number 1 seed when you arrive to that, or that starting quarterback when you go to a new school. So, but other than that, the life experiences, the ability to be able to connect with other people once they go to college, because I've lived in that state too, or I've been to that area. It's amazing, just the broadening. I think that kids experience too as military, and it gets in their blood. I think even as they grow, it's almost what we've seen from ours. It's almost like they're fearful of having to stay in the same place all the time instead of moving. It really gets in their blood for that move every 2 to 4 years of a new location, a new adventure. So we kind of already anticipate that being maybe some of the questions that spouses might have.
And like the kids are very resilient. My kids fight about who's the bigger Army brat.
That's good.
So this is an event that's coming up on September 2nd. It's going to kick off super early in the morning. Well, not super early, but around PT time. PT time. What time is that for our civilian folks that don't?
Yeah, great question. So 6:30. The formation show time would probably be like 6:15, and then and so they'll even be able to experience just what a morning takes place with hearing the cannon fire in the morning, and everyone's going to the position of salute. The Soldier's Creed that you heard just a little bit ago, that's a battle rhythm piece of every morning for all formations here. They'll hear the Soldier's Creed stated too as well. And so then, and PT will go till approximately like 7:30, maybe 7:45 at the longest. And then we'll have a transitional time frame before we go to Liberty Chapel for the next part.
So, sir, can you tell us how those that are interested, how they might go ahead and sign up for this? How do they get in contact with your office? Who's the point of contact?
Chaplain Cargill, his email, and I know definitely directly through yourself, Chaplain McCraney. On that flyer, we have our information on there for you to be able to directly contact us through email, and we will then continue to not only have your name on the roster for participating, but also keep your email contact with the distribution list for any updates we have as we get closer to it. We'll distribute that information to you and be there to help answer questions that you might have towards traveling needs, just what to expect for that day. and maybe even some options of where to stay that would be convenient if you're traveling here from a good distance to be able to connect.